Hey y'all, Brandon Rinas here. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. How do you like my hair? Did a pretty good job on it. Worked on it all night. I have to say that this week has not been that crazy. I feel like I've kind of started getting into that groove. Ty Lopez, he says that in order to gain a habit, you have to do something for 66 days straight. That's what professors or people that have researched a topic have done, to the point where they recognize that if you've been doing something for 66 days straight, it becomes a habit. And so that's really what my lifestyle has become to a degree. And so if you're going through struggles or you're trying to go through this yourself and you're at a few weeks into it, just keep pushing, push hard. I was a little bit frustrated. I felt like last week I was a little more on the frustrated side of things, on that I wasn't able to get as much done. I wasn't able to have as much success. But I also think as this week, I've gone through this week, that I'm starting to realize that some of that is the fact that you make less and less progress right off the bat. It's kind of like when you're in the gym. The first few days, you're going to start seeing that progress. You're going to lose weight, or you're going to start see your body changing. But once you start getting in the gym on a consistent basis, you don't have those drastic changes. And I feel like it's the same thing with running a business or trying to have success, getting your finances in order. Once you figure out where your finances are going, all the money you're losing, all those different things, those are huge, huge steps. And then you start going, okay, well, now that I got all those huge steps, it's more baby steps. So one of the things I've been thinking about doing is I've been thinking about opening up a business in the weed industry, hemp industry, and I don't smoke it or anything else, but it seems like it's a good industry to be in. There's not a lot of good quality competition, and there's just a lot of bad business models out there. And so I've been thinking about getting into that. And I'm actually looking at possibly working for someone in that industry, so that way I can immerse myself and actually learn, is this really what I want? Is there really as much potential as I think? Or is my business model viable? Is it going to actually be, is there potential behind it? So those are just things that cross my mind, and I see the potential, good or bad, in them. Also, I've been trading the stock market. Now, when I say this stuff, I don't want you to go, okay, I have to trade the stock market. Oh, I have to get into hemp. We all have our own different personality types. And so I want you to look at yourself and go, okay, hey, I'm really good at understanding how to buy and sell baseball cards. Okay, master that. Whatever it is that your niche is, whatever your strengths are, hey, I know how to build computers. So I can build computers, and I can make, an extra $100 or $200 every single month if I built 2 or 3 computers, and maybe it'd be 5. I don't know. Maybe you can make an extra grand. Whatever it is that your niche is, don't model it after me. But in order for us to be financially successful, we have to be able to work our job, get our finances in order to the point where we're spending a lot less, hopefully, than what we're making. I try to separate my funds into 3 different things. I have my investing savings fund that goes into one side, and I put that all into silver or gold. That's what I do. At 10% of every single paycheck goes to that type of stuff. Then I pay off all my bills, and then I try to have some for tithing or giving or helping people or whatever it would be. And I would prefer that to be 10%, and I try to live off the other 80%. And when I say live off the other 80%, that would include paying for everything and paying off debt, which is what I will focus on. Again, this is fix it for your style. If you're looking at how to pay off debt, how to work on all those type of things, I would highly, 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 highly recommend the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Phenomenal book. Also, Robert Kiyosaki has I think if you just Google Robert Kiyosaki and his wife, debt or something like that, they have about an hour-long video, maybe it's 45 minutes, that talks about how they got out of debt, or bad debt at least, talking about those type of things. But anyway, when I'm saying these things, I don't want you to think, oh, I got to learn how to trade the stock market. The stock market is something I'm naturally, I wouldn't say good at, but it fits my personality type. It fits how my brain thinks. I can process that. I don't know anything about baseball cards. I hate technology. I suck at this. I don't know how to edit my own videos and cut and paste, and I don't know how to do any of that, so you just get me as I am. I don't know how to add the subtitles or anything special, so you're getting a sucky, crappy video, but a guy that's speaking from the heart telling you what he thinks, and that's all you're going to get. Maybe as time progresses, somebody will want to edit these things and help me out, and maybe we'll make them nicer. But right now, it's just sheerly out of the will of my heart. I go through YouTube, and when I was trying to go through this process of becoming more successful, I would go through YouTube and I would look up different people. And you hear the stories of how people started in their garage and they became successful, like Bill Gates. But you don't see him. You don't see Bill Gates when he was in this garage. All you see is the billionaire, and you go, all right, cool. Yeah, this guy sucked. He was broke for a while, but I've never seen it. And the same thing with Tai Lopez and Robert Kiyosaki. They all talk about, oh, it wasn't very long ago that I was poor. Well, I want the example of what people went through when they were poor. And that's what this is. You're getting my weeks. I believe it was last week where I was struggling. I felt like I didn't get as much done. And so I was trying to track down a mentor. And by the way, that fell through. I was not a mentor, accountability partner. I have not been able to find that so far. It just hasn't panned out. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I don't know. But another thing that I've done to help elevate me and help push me is, on top of the accountability partner, which I still have my eye open for, the more you start having success, the more your brain starts thinking more successful. And I can't explain it. I'm sure it's the same thing as when you're going to the gym or anything else. The more time you go to the gym consistently, the more it just becomes a natural reflex. And then you want to start hanging out with people that eat better, or go to the gym more active, or whatever it is. It's just natural. You kind of surround yourself with those type of people. And the same thing goes with success. When I started doing this journey, I couldn't think of anybody that was successful. I was like, oh, my parents aren't a good example. I got one business friend that I work with, and I don't want to really interfere with our relationship. So then, who else is there? I can't do it. And then as I've gone down this road more, I've started going, wow, I know that guy was trying to have success. Maybe he started having more success. Maybe he's really fulfilled that. So I started trying to contact him. I've contacted previous business people that I've worked with that I haven't burned bridges with, which thankfully most of the people I've worked with I haven't burned bridges with. I started talking to other business owners. And although it's a small window, it's a small percentage of people, I've probably tripled or quadrupled the amount of people I could think of when it comes to successful people that had a good business idea or business smarts or anything of that kind. Actually, we're trying to become more than the typical 9-to-5. And all I'm saying is that don't get frustrated with yourself. When you're like, okay, I know I need to surround myself with better people. But who? It's going to take time. This is going to take time. It's going to become a habit. You need this to become a habit. You need to want this more than your TV show. When becoming successful is your lifestyle, and it's a higher priority, when you're getting up at 5 in the morning and you're like, yeah, and it becomes a lifestyle, awesome. That's when you're going to start having success. And although I'm not there, I can see it. With my stock trading, I started off with, I believe it was $4,000, worked it up to 10. Then because I was getting cocky and I wasn't listening to who I was supposed to be listening to as much, and I was just being foolish, the whole thing crashed on me. So then I lost all that 10 grand, and I was down to, I believe it was around 3 grand. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna actually start listening to him, and instead of investing every penny I had in the stock market like I was doing, I started investing just 10%. That way I could lose 10 times, and I wouldn't lose all my money. And so I did 10%, 10%, 10%. Well, now I'm up to almost 7 grand. I think I'm about $6,700 right now. Make about $100 every 2 or 3 days on average. Actually, it's probably a little more than that, about 4 or 5 on average. I try to be 2 to 3. And so that's a little bit of success. But once I get to 10 grand, it's going to be $1,000 a trade. Once I get to $10,000, it'll be 1,000, or 10 grand. I'm sorry, 10 grand will be 1,000, 100,000, 10,000. Yeah, you get the point. Sorry, I'm a little slow. 5, maybe it'd be 50,000. I'll go to 5 grand a trade. But pretty soon, I'll be able to start having enough success as long as I keep doing things in that same percentage. For me, I went all in too quickly, and then it hurt me. I want to end on something. I was listening to Tai Lopez. Actually, I guess I'm not ending because I'm talking about 2 different things real quick. One thing I would recommend is listening to different people, and we all have different people that we are attracted to on who we enjoy listening to. Some of the names these are just right off the top of my head. So maybe you'll like some of them, maybe you won't. Jim Rohn, Tai Lopez, Robert Kiyosaki, and then just maybe books. The Richest Man in Babylon, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. These are just different people to listen to, and to listen to their ideas, and maybe you want to listen to more. Maybe you like someone like a Peter Schiff. Maybe you like someone like a Michael Maloney if you're trying to learn about silver and gold, and you know there's different styles that fit your agenda. But try to be educated and research. We've got nothing to lose. Do you want to be poor? Do you want to work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and barely survive the rest of your life? Is that what your options are? Because if that's what you want, that's fine. But don't watch these. Don't read those books. Try to enjoy life as much as you can while you're tight on money and barely surviving. But if you want to have success, start surrounding yourself. If you can't meet them because you're not successful enough that they don't want to listen to you, read about them, learn about them. You know, Tai Lopez, he does an excellent job talking about how it doesn't matter whether you hate Hillary Clinton or love her. You can still learn from her books. It doesn't matter whether you hate Trump or love him. The guy was billions of dollars in debt. I believe it was 8 or 9 billions of dollars of debt, and worked his way out. So there's things you can learn from him. That's all there is to it. And that's all you got to be doing when you're reading. Learn what you can learn. Get rid of everything else. Move on to the next book. You move on to the next thing. You can listen to so many books on YouTube completely for free. And then if you do buy them, go buy them at a thrift store. If you're trying to be cheap, that's what I do. Go to a thrift store, spend $2, $3 a book. Nice books. Books that are 30, 50 bucks, 50, 100 bucks before. You know, that's a big difference. And this is what I was going to end on. Tai Lopez, again, the same gentleman I was talking about earlier, he's talking about how the Amish raise their children. And I was just talking about how, I wake up at 5 in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's a struggle. And this is something I'm trying to work on for myself. The Amish, what they do when they punish their children, they're not big on physical violence, apparently, when it comes to like spanking and things of that kind. He says it does happen, but in general, how they promote hard work is to promote it in a good way. The same way you look at, you know, your Nintendo or your whatever it is, the fancy stuff that we have, the technology nowadays. I don't own a TV, so I'm behind the times. But all the cool stuff. The same way you would punish your kid, hey, you can't play your Xbox until you finish your schoolwork. That is what the Amish do with work. So imagine you fail at doing a chore. You didn't make your bed in the morning or whatever it is. Your mom says, hey, you disappointed me. Your job as a person in our family is to be able to make your bed and to be able to have success. The next time our family is going to be out working on this project together, you can't come with us. Well, because of their mentality, because that's a reward, they're devastated. They want to be able to do that. And it changes your attitude on work as in, crap, we're all going to work. I got to get up at 5 in the morning. It's time to go. And so I don't know how to turn this around naturally. I'm trying the way I naturally wake up and more of a positive light is to go, okay, literally, this is literally how I think about things. I'm not exaggerating. So last time I was in Hawaii, and I went to the island of Kauai. We went on the most epic, amazing, beautiful hike I've ever been on, and it was called the Kalalo Trail. And so when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to get going. First thing I think of is that Kalalo Trail, and I just think of the beaches and how there's nobody around. It is miles of beach. You have your own island practically. It's 11 miles from civilization. Nobody wants to go out there. The hike is horrible, and so it's just you and, you know, a few other people out there with miles and miles of area property out there. So I love it. I just think about that. And then I think about my massages because my body always hurts. I've been hit by 3 drunk drivers. I play physical sports all the time. My body is always abused. And so I think of massages and I think I am going to be able to afford a massage whenever I want, as long as I want, every day, if that's what it takes to stay physically active and to enjoy life. And that's usually enough to get me going. Those are selfish reasons. But it doesn't matter whether your reasons are selfish or not. The long-term goal is to be able to have those selfish reasons, but also to be able to help people. To be able to say, yes, I was selfish. That was what got me out of bed. But my videos have helped people. I've helped people invest down the road after I've had success. I've helped people get into houses after I've had success. But you can't do that until you've had that success. You can't help people. Let's say your goal is to take over Africa and get rid of AIDS or whatever it is. That's cool. Awesome. But you can't do that until you've had success. So if that's your goal, find whatever it is. If that's your selfish goal, maybe it's not a selfish goal, but maybe that's your goal and that's what drives you. Cool. Think about that when you get out of bed. Think about that car you want to buy. Think about that life you want to save. Think about that kid you want to adopt. Think about that pet shelter you want to open. Use that as your motivation to get out of bed and create a new you. Thank you guys. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, your own struggles that you're going through, your own issues, ask a question. I'll try to answer them with the videos I do. In fact, there was a question asked the other day on how to stay organized. My answer to that is I'm not an organized person. And so for me, when it comes to staying organized, I've been trying to create more folders on different things I do. And what I asked my wife to do next time she goes shopping is to buy me a calendar and for me to write down. I'm going to try to go to bed every night and write down what I want to do the next day. So most of the stuff is pretty standard, I'm going to work. But let's say you have your own personal struggle. You're trying to stop watching pornography or whatever it is that you're trying to go through, right? So you're trying to stop that. So you write, okay, I'm not going to watch pornography today. I am going to read my Bible or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be sexual. I'm just trying to come up with examples off the top of my head. And so you write down what you want to do. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to work my 8-hour day. I'm going to get up at 5:30. I'm going to study for an hour. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And you just go down your little list. And that's all I'm trying to do. And the reason I want to do that is it's so easy to wake up the next morning, even though even though you're trying to come up with those positive things. Let's say you come up with all those positive things and you want to get going, and then you're like, I can't think of anything I want to do. So I'm going to go back to sleep. Yeah, I woke up at 5, but I can't think of anything I need to do. And that will help me every night to get those things done the next morning. And my goal is to write on that every single day. Like I'll put in my notes, blah, 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 blah. I want to do these different things because whenever I'm working throughout the day, for me, that's when I notice the different things I want to do. And I always, oh man, I wish I'd gotten up earlier and gotten them done, but I forget about them when I'm waking up first thing in the morning, or sometimes even forget about them before I go to bed. And so I want to keep that list, write it all down by hand, and get up and do it with that positive motivation I was talking about. All right, guys, sorry for the fake close. Same thing. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hate it, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. Let's have conversations. Let's build each other up. Let's become successful. Let's work together in becoming successful. Let's talk about our struggles, our strengths, our weaknesses, our pros, and our cons. All right, guys, Brandon signing out. Peace out.